Hey everybody, welcome back to day 3 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter. Really excited to be back for day 3, and I hope you guys are excited. I see a lot of people in the chat. I see Tim Mobest again, Kara Butler, Paula. I see Toxic Flow. That name just jumps out off the screen to me. I'm so excited to see you guys again in the chat. All right, so we are jumping back in, like I said, for day 3. And in the chat, let me know, how's it been going? Have you been following along with the challenges? Have you been digging the new year, new me, fitness, health, wellness kind of challenges we've been doing? Let me know. Talk to me a little bit. We are going to dive right in, and if you don't know what the Daily Creative Challenge is all about, maybe you're just jumping in now, you can always go back and watch all the replays, and you can stick around all day and watch amazing live streams that we have going on here at Adobe. But we have some cool stuff happening today. And so if you'd like to figure out what the XD Daily Challenge is all about, it's a series of challenges to help you hone your skills. And we're going to do that in just 9 challenges. Started a few days ago. It's going to go all the way till January 31st. And each day you're going to receive a challenge. To get here, you go to behance.net/challenge/XD, and you'll be able to sign up just like that once you're logged into your Adobe account. We can scroll down and we can unlock each of the challenges. You can see so far we've done a little bit of repeat grid stuff, some component stuff, and today we're gonna do some Auto-Animate. We're gonna make some magic happen. It's gonna be pretty exciting. So each day those are gonna unlock. You can also get started and download the starting file that I'm gonna be starting with today. You can have that file and get going with that as well. Make sure you're joining the community chat. That's our Discord. Make sure that I bring up my own Discord here. But Discord has over 30,000 creatives in it, which is super crazy. So lots of stuff. And you can post your work in the current challenge channel here on Discord. And I'm gonna be on Discord after this stream is over, answering some of your questions. Hey, Ilner, hey from Chris and Katie and Justin and Dave in the chat. Thanks for being here, you guys. Make sure you are on the Discord chat as well. After we're done doing that, you're gonna watch the daily show here with me, and we're gonna be cruising through and designing some cool stuff. And finally, at the end, you're gonna post your stuff up to Behance, and make sure you use the hashtag XD Daily Challenge, because then we can go search on Behance and find all of the XD Daily Challenge submissions using that hashtag. So very, very important. All right, we're gonna jump right in. I think we hit all the checks and balances we need to get going. I'm gonna head over to XD with our starting file. And I'm gonna be honest, I cheated a little bit. I put a color and I made a little component. So your starting file will look almost like this, but I've just went ahead and did a little work right here because I already know the direction I'm gonna go. But in your starting file, we can see what's the challenge about today. Well, we're gonna use Auto-Animate. We're gonna prototype a workout tracker. Something we can add tasks to or workouts. And then as we check off those tasks, we wanna see some animated charts of some kind. And so if you don't know what Auto-Animate's all about, you're gonna find out today. Tell you what, there's some inspirations down below. And again, a bunch of places where you can get resources. We're not gonna need a lot of resources today though. We're gonna be doing most things custom. Let's jump over to our artboard and see what we have. I have an iPhone 11 Pro size artboard here. And I made an artboard simply by pressing A, or you can head over into our tools panel and hit the artboard thing there. And then we can choose which size. I just picked this one because I liked it, because it was there. Richard Otley says, happy Thursday. Is it Thursday already? Oh man, that means tomorrow's the last day of the stream for this week. It'll be back next week. So it's crazy, it's Thursday already. All right, so on my artboard, I have just a background with a dark fill. It's not all the way black, it's just kind of dark. It's not all the way pure black. And then on my artboard, I have this small task that I've created. Now I created a component out of it. Learned about components yesterday. If you don't know how to do that, I created this little interface element, Command K created a component. And then I can go into my components section over here, and we can see I have lots of tasks. I can pull those out, and these are all instances of that same task. So we have that set. It's got a nice little drop shadow behind it, and we're gonna be using Roboto today for our text of choice. So we have also, it's really important if we look in our layers panel, we also have a checkbox, and we also have a check mark that we can turn on and off. So that's how the component's set up, and we're gonna start building. Let's do it. We probably need some sort of top bar for this, so I'm gonna press R and grab my rectangle tool and drag out a rectangle. Let's turn off the border, and let's choose that same light gray that's used in our tasks. So working with dark interfaces is always really interesting. I'd love to hear in the chat what your experiences have been working with dark interfaces. It's really about finding the balance between dark and less dark, having different, like just that little bit of contrast and differentiation between these dark shades that we're using. Dark modes are really, really hot right now, so I figured we would try it. We'd do a little work on it. So I'm gonna grab our text and I'm gonna paste a new version of our text up here. And we're gonna do something really simple because I wanna get to the Auto-Animate stuff. I only Howard Pinsky says, went ahead of time and went ahead and did these things. So I didn't misspell things because we all know how bad at spelling and grammar I am, but that's okay. You guys forgive me. This is a safe place to be bad at spelling and grammar, okay? So I do know how to spell the word today, Howard, and I'm gonna put that right there. And let's just do something really simple. Let's do today, let's do tomorrow. And let's just have like a, kind of like two tabs you can flip back and forward between. So I'm gonna grab my rectangle here and Command-C, Command-V to create a new version. And let's get our accent color working, okay? That's really big. We don't want it quite that big. Just something to indicate that we are working on today. And what I love about this is if I zoom in real tight so you can see, I'm just gonna grab my rectangle and make sure it's perfectly half. Little quick alignment tutorial for you. I'm gonna grab that element and I'm just gonna align it using my alignment tools. So now we have today and tomorrow. We might as well just bring the opacity of tomorrow down to show that we're on an active state. Now, before we get crazy, because we're gonna go into some serious Auto-Animate, some complex stuff, let's do some simple stuff really quick, okay? We have each of our elements. Let's name them correctly in our layers panel. Today, and we have tomorrow, and we have let's do our active tab. Let's just do active state there. That's not how you spell active. There's no space between those. Now, if we were to create a new artboard that had those same exact elements, this is Auto-Animate 101. Let's do it. We would just slide over our element we want to work with. We would make our changes. That means bring this up to 100% and that one down to 33%. And we'd head over to our prototype tab and we can choose the element we want to prototype from. So this is our trigger point. We're just going to drag that line over and we are going to choose Auto-Animate. Then we can click this one and drag back. XD is gonna remember all of the same prototype settings we just used for the first one, and now we're ready to go. Let's click on our artboard, press play in the top right, and now we have a little Auto-Animate action. It's so simple, it's so good. Don't you just love it? It makes you feel like you did hours of work. It makes you feel like you got down in the weeds inside of Adobe After Effects, but you didn't. You didn't have to. You just went clickety-clack. It's really nice. Okay, so that is the basics of Auto-Animate. Now that you know the basics, let's get a little cray-cray, okay? So we're gonna delete this guy because we wanna do some more interesting stuff. What we wanna do is we wanna be able to, conceptually, we wanna be able to add more tasks, okay? So why don't we just really quickly mock that up. I'm gonna hit E for ellipse, drag a little button out right here, and take the border off of it, make it our accent blue. Make sure it's right in the middle and drag it down to the bottom. And then why don't we just get our pen tool out and we'll do a little drawing of a plus button, okay? So there we go, we have our plus. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what I'm working on here. Stretch that out a little more, align everything, and let's make it white so it punches a little bit. And why don't we just round the corners too? I'm gonna group that together and make sure my whole thing is aligned. How's everybody doing in the chat? You following along? You digging what we're doing so far? Okay, cool. I'm kind of digging it as well. Somebody told me the other day that I say good job to myself a lot while I'm designing. I think that's what you should do. I think you should congratulate yourself and be your own cheerleader, because otherwise who else is going to? So, all right, so we have a little plus button, and this is where we would add our elements. Now, when I'm working through a flow, I'm gonna do a little kind of a dive into some user experience design right now, mixing with our prototyping. When I'm thinking of a flow, I wanna think of the end result of the flow. Keep that in mind. I wanna go all the way to the end. Hey, what's the full-blown flow look like at the end? And then I can work backwards and we can animate through those. That's how I work. You don't have to work that way, but that's how I do it. So I'm thinking, let's grab our task. Let's make 3 of them. Why don't we do push-ups times 20? And why don't we do, here comes my spelling. Is that how we spell burpees? I don't know, but let's just let Let's roll with it. Here we go. So we have lunges, push-ups, and burpees, and we could add more conceptually, right? Now, yesterday we built a pie chart. I think we should bring that back. Let's do a little pie chart action by dragging out an ellipse. Let's take the border off of it. Let's make it a light gray kind of color, maybe right in there. Let's do another one, Command-C, Command-V, shrink it down. I'm gonna change the color so I can see, because what we're trying to do is create that width, right? What is the width we want there? We're gonna grab both elements and subtract, and now we have the start of our pie chart. We did this yesterday, right? Same stuff. You know this stuff, okay? We're gonna do another one. Let's just center that. Why don't we Command-C, Command-V, do another one, and we're gonna fill this with our accent color. That's a full pie. Full pie versus empty pie, right? Okay, looking pretty good so far. We're gonna get really complex. Stick with me. And I did spell burpee correctly. Thank you, Richard, for letting me know, because that would have haunted me all day long. So we're trying to go quick. So some of these things, it's gonna be like, what is he doing? What's going on? But I promise it will all make sense in the end. So we've created our pie. What we wanna do is we wanna be able to animate this pie around. That's a really hard thing to do. You can do that with the pen tool and shapes that get really, really complex. But how about I did spell tomorrow, it's spelled today, I'm gonna leave the spelling alone. Everybody stop picking on me for my spelling and grammar. We're gonna let it fly. We're gonna let it roll how it is, okay? So here's our full pie. So it's hard to animate this thing around. And what we wanna do is, we wanna bring in a shape, I think. I'm gonna bring in a rectangle. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna bring that there. I'm gonna select my blue active state. I'm gonna subtract. I'm gonna do it again. I just want half of that pie. And there's probably other ways to do what I'm doing. This is just how I'm gonna do it, okay? Now what we wanna do is I'm gonna make another copy of this. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna put empty pie, okay? And then I'm gonna put pie piece here up in my layers panel, all right? I'm gonna create another version of empty pie and make sure my pie piece is on top of it. I'm gonna bring the transparency down, and then I'm gonna group them together. And I might as well actually call this one pie piece, okay? So why I did that is so that I could have this little piece, but it's still connected to the same circle. That way, I'm gonna be able to rotate this pie piece around to accomplish the look and feel of the prototype that I'm trying to do, okay? I'm gonna make one more piece that's really similar. We got a couple pieces going on here. So we got our back kind of empty pie. We have our front, which is our pie piece, and we're gonna make a copy of our pie piece and call this pie blocker? Pie blocker. I like the naming scheme that we're doing here, pie blocker. Pie blocker is gonna be the way that we manage, let's see, let's get here. We're gonna use this same, grab our color picker, and we're gonna manage what actually is shown. This way, check this out. We can take pie piece, watch this, and slide it out, and it's as if it comes from nowhere, right? That's the trick we're trying to do. So far so good. Now what we wanna do is, let's create, remember we said we wanna create that end state first. So we have all the elements, because how XD works for Auto-Animate is, it has to have those same elements the entire time. So my pie piece, my active pie piece, if I just come back here and show you, I'll remove my pie blocker, it's just a quarter, right? So we need more than just a quarter. We need 4 quarters. I know I'm like teaching you basic fractions. You're like, come on, Jesse, speed it up a little bit. So we're gonna take this pie piece and we're gonna name it pie piece 1. Let's make a copy of that. Let's make pie piece 2. And let's just duplicate those one more time. Here we go. Let's make pie piece 3 and pie piece 4. And you guessed it, we're gonna do exactly what these pie pieces should do. Bang. 2 is gonna go out to there, 3 is gonna expand out to there, and 4 is gonna rotate and expand out to there to be a filled in pie. So far, so good? Okay, trying to work fast so you guys can see the completion of this thing. Next thing we wanna do is, we have these three tasks that we wanna complete. So we're gonna drag out 3 different artboards. Now really quickly, let's put our focus down here on the tasks. In our prototype, we're gonna be clicking here and moving to the next one. Actually, we need a 4th one, don't we? Let's move it out to a 4th piece. So when we click here, we have, this is gonna be complete. So why don't we change this to the blue, turn on the check mark, right? Now we're thinking we're gonna click on our push-ups, and when we come out here, our push-ups and our lunges will be active. So we're gonna grab both of our squares this time, fill them, woo, watch out, I went too far. Let me back up a little bit. Actually, you know what I'd prefer to do? Delete these and then duplicate the artboard as we go so we have the same exact thing happening on each one. Turn on that check mark. Then we'll do this one more time. Let's bring out that artboard. Let's turn that one blue and turn on the check mark. Are we seeing the flow here so far? Okay, so far so good, right? We click, it moves. We click, it moves. Now we're gonna work backwards with our pie pieces, okay? This one should be at 100%. That means let's take pie piece 4 and let's back that up. And we can manipulate these pie pieces however we want. Maybe, since there's only 3 tasks, it's more like that, maybe, right? We're gonna take 2 and 3, let's rotate it around. Okay, like that. And then let's take here on the very first one and let's rotate them all the way. Ooh, we gotta be careful here. We're gonna take pie piece 4, I'm gonna rotate it. Then we're gonna take number 3, rotate that one, and 2 to rotate that one. And then we wanna make sure that our empty pie, or where'd our pie blocker go? Oh, pie blocker should be on. Pie blocker should be on each one of these. Sorry, my bad. Let's make sure that's happening. Here we go. Pie blocker, okay? Pretty good. Now on this last one, actually, pie blocker could come off. So let's just see what we've done so far. Let's see how this plays out. It might be messy. We might have to go back and fix a few things, okay? But let's do some prototyping. So we're gonna head over to our prototype tab in the top left. We're gonna grab our task and we are gonna prototype to the next screen. It remembers our tap auto-animate. Right now we're having the easing as ease in, okay? But we could change it to any of these other ones and we can manipulate the timing. We're not gonna do that right now. Let's prototype the second task and the third task. Now let's go back, just because. We're gonna prototype the third task back, the second task back, and the first task back. Let's see how that looks and see how we came out with this thing. So we see there's some things that are visible there. It's okay, we can work on that in a second, but let's just try. Oh, that did a little mess up. We're gonna have to fix that. 2, it looks like our pie chart is doing some wonky things, but it's animating, isn't it? Pretty good. Okay, let's work out some of our issues here. Why don't we make sure that we take all of our pie pieces and bring the opacity of them down? How about that, okay? And then we're gonna take 2 through 4, bring that opacity down, but not pie piece 1. Pie piece 1, we want to punch out. That's actually the problem we were having. We weren't doing it correctly. Nobody was correcting me in the chat. You're just letting me make a fool of myself up here. That's okay, I still love you guys. Okay, so pie piece 2 through 3. Remember, we're just trying to figure out what each one is doing, each individually. So, yep, that looks pretty good. We're gonna move on now. Let's go pie piece 3 and 4, the transparency should be down, and pie piece 2 should be up. Pie piece 1 is in the wrong spot. There we go. Let's do that. And let's figure it out here. Okay. Yeah, everything should be up now. Pie blocker should be there. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, pretty good. That last one's a little funky, but it's hey, you gotta give credit where credit's due. It was all right for the first 2. That last one was a little meh. So we've definitely worked this out, but hey, look at these ones. These ones look pretty good. I like that. That's a nice look. It's a nice feel. And I feel like you could take this and you could present this like as an idea. Now, we have a few more minutes left. Not too much, we got about 5 minutes, but you could take this further. I wanna give you an idea to roll with. Why don't we just talk about this idea really quick? What if the numbers could manipulate as well at the same time? I'm not gonna be able to finish this in time, but I want you guys to try this and submit it inside of the XD challenge using that hashtag. XD Daily Challenge. I'm gonna take my text, I'm gonna hit some text right here, and I'm just gonna go 0, 1, 2, that's not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's make these white. And I want you guys, this is homework, okay? You guys figure this out and you guys make this work, but I'll show you the basic idea of it. We want to get our number sequence right there, okay? And what we wanna do is we wanna create, another ellipse that is going to block it a little bit like that. Okay, we're running out of time slowly but surely. And what I'm going to do is take a rectangle and whoops, that's not a rectangle. Let's get out of there. Rectangle, and we just want to block it off and subtract it. Okay, let's fill this with the same color as the background, something like this. I could shrink it up just so that, again, this is going to be a little wonky, but you guys are going to be able to do a much better job than me. Let's duplicate it, turn it around. Okay, you're going to want to use some masking techniques that we'll talk about. And Howard Pinsky's covered quite a bit of masking stuff. But the idea would be that we would take these elements, we would mask them into a shape, right? Obviously a little bit better than what I've done here. And that in the next screen, you would be able to see all of these progressing. So now if we prototyped, this is a little ugly, we're seeing the numbers here, but we want to see these numbers move, okay? So that's the idea. Like I said, running a little bit out of time. And I want to take the time to check out the work that's been submitted inside of the Discord. So, hey, thanks again for everybody for sticking around for the stream. Really, really excited to do this stuff with you guys. Hey, Julia Clayton and Ariana and Richard Otley, always being there in the chat. You guys are amazing. Jan and Monir and Anna and Howard Pinsky, number counter tutorial. Look, he's got that. He's already got that covered. Where does he have that? On letsxd.com. Thanks, Howard Pinsky, for being a champion. You the man. So if you want to learn how to do that number counter, Howard's going to do it way better than I'm going to do it. And he's going to do it right there on letsxd.com. Let's jump over to the Discord and just take a few moments to look at some of these amazing, amazing challenges from yesterday. So what do we got here? Let's open a few of these up. Yesterday was a kind of similar, a goals tracking experience. We made lots of fun pie charts and bar charts, and we made components really come to life. So that's a nice one right there. Let's jump over to the browser and see what we got. So Travis Dykes, he was in the chat yesterday following along. He finished, and oh, he made some really interesting charts. Look right in there. We got numbers kind of tracking around, and I'm sure he had some really interesting ways of using components. Here's a little bit of a close-up. Got that percentage, right? You could work some of that number counter tutorial that Howard's pointing out, and you could even prototype that further and make that thing animate. That'd be really, really fun. I just love seeing, I didn't get to do it, but I love seeing a bar chart or a pie chart and use a little snap or bounce in the Auto-Animate so that pie just kind of snaps and bounces around. I love that. That just feels springy and fun. So this is great colors. I love the UI elements here. I love the detail. I love that he kind of graphed everything out. Good job, Travis. What else we got here? This one is looking real good. Who is this by? Let's go back really quickly and honor. We want to honor the name because they took the time. Riaz Sheikh put this one up. This is a really cool one, really similar to the one I was doing yesterday. I love the colors, following on perfectly. Those bar charts. Wasn't that fun? It was a fun thing to make. I love the usage of the orange and the green. Those are nice colors together, really smooth. This one is Wendy Valadares, and oh, look, here's that recipe app from day one coming back. This is looking really, really nice as well. Absolutely loving this. Let's go. Can we just talk really quickly about Behance's ability to do case studies? Like, look at this little case study. Each of these are individual images that she popped in here. So she took the time and designed out this case study. Somebody who's looking to hire you for work, looking for you to do some interface work, they're gonna like this case study that Wendy put together because it talks about her process as well. I would love to also see Wendy throw the live prototype of what she worked on in here. That would be super smooth. Let people click around on it. Oh, here's the illustrations coming in. Leanne Kahn put some illustrations in there. I like the little extra colored drop shadow that's like right behind these pie charts right here. Those look really smooth, and I love the variation of color right here in these pie charts. Well, we are wrapping it up for the day, everybody. These are fantastic, absolutely amazing designs. I hope you guys had fun today in the daily challenge. Tomorrow, please come back and join us. We're gonna be doing some more daily challenges, and then we'll start back up again on Monday. I'll be in the Discord chat, and coming up next, we have some amazing design systems that Lenore is putting together. So stick around for the next stream. You will not be sorry that you stuck around. We'll see you tomorrow.